Hi, so today we're going to take a look at React How-To. This is the scenario builder that we've been working on the last 8 months. So there's a number of features and issues that we worked on. One is the extension. The second one is improving the runtime environment of the application. And another is adding steps by tooltips by interacting with the sample application. So this is a quick scenario builder. We'll go through each of these in a moment. So starting with the extension, we have built an extension. We can see the mockups here, which our extension is available inside Chrome, and we can have it working on Concordia website with some minor technical difficulties. But all in all, it works and it works fine. So for example, we have no tests for extension due to the complexity of just the environment. The whole team worked pretty hard on this one. We have an improvement to the runtime environment, which is essentially some UI upgrades, which we'll take a look at in just a moment as well. We also have the ability to add steps by tooltips by interacting with the sample application, quick scenario builder, which allows us to quickly add new tooltips and actually fill out the form in our tooltips. Let me check out the unit test link here, and we can see that the test for this is to essentially add multiple, like a list of steps, add multiple steps to that list, and then to assert that the element at the particular list is equal to another element, and that the counts are equal as well. So we'll move on to our demo application. So we built a demo application in order to build our scenarios around. And so we'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So launch demo. Second. So this is the way to import the library. And you can see that we can target any element on the page. Good. Very easy to install, as well as very easy to add to a components. You just have to have the proper integration props, and the components get added to the page. So we will toggle the dashboard and show the simple scenario that we built for this page. You can see that it works on this page, as well as the fact that we can have these updates to the runtime environment. For example, if we run the same scenario, you'll see that it hooks into the same API. We're able to run the same scenario, but this time we actually have, instead of it launching from the button, we launch it from the context menu here, and we're able to stop it directly from here. We will toggle the runtime just for now. We'll add a new scenario, demo, and we'll show off the quick step mode, which allows us to essentially add one, input dip, next, label 2, description, as well as add as well. Done. And you see that we were able to create these scenarios in a lot quicker time, and that has improved the productivity of actually making scenarios and testing the feasibility of these scenarios. Now you can see if we toggle the runtime environment, we're able to run demo. These are empty, as you can see. So now we'll toggle the dashboard. So that's one of our features, quick add step mode. We also support multi-page scenarios. So we can see that by clicking on this one. You can see we support multi-page scenarios. We go to the second page. Notice here the URL has changed, and that on the second page, that the runtime environment has instantly started up and is able to access the DOM of this page. We can go back, and the scenario is over because we ended it on the previous page. Now, so for our final feature, it's the Chrome extension support, which is in beta, but we'll show it off right now.
So for the extension, we can see that we've loaded the extension. We can run it from here, run the build, and once we run the build, we're able to, in this particular service, we're able to load the unpacked version by selecting the build folder. And once we would do that, we could just refresh it because we already have it. Go back, and you'll see that it works on the Concordia course undergraduate calendar page. So we launch our scenario, and as you can see, we can target elements on this page and launch a scenario. So we're just showing here how a new student could potentially use our tours to understand more about how the various differences between the general program and the various courses that they can choose from, the number of credits, this kind of thing. And so we're just showing that yes, it is indeed possible to create arbitrary scenarios for any page, as we've done for Concordia.ca over here. We'll just let the scenario kind of go through here. Yeah, you can see that this is tour mode. There's information about the electives. And you'll see that the style actually matches the page, so those fonts there are all determined by Concordia.ca's particular styling, and yeah. Yeah, this is the extension, and it works pretty well. It took a lot of work to get to this point.
So we can take a look at the code as well. Some of the major additions come from the extension code. So essentially what we're doing here is we have a content script which imports components from our library with the proper integration props. We create a sample application. This is for the extension. And we mount our components, both of them, to this app. Then we have a bit of logic that when this content script is run on the browser, that it creates, essentially what it does is it takes all the nodes of the current body and appends them to a div. So then it creates a new div for us. We render our app inside that div. We mess around with the styles a bit so that our app is on the left and the rest of the DOM is on the right. Styles all here as well. And then what we do is we append both the app and the clone of the old body to the actual body, and that allows our application to go right next to the current application. And yeah, so it doesn't look like much, but it took quite a bit of time to get to the stage where we could actually get our Chrome extension rendering our app as well as accepting requests in and out of the browser. But all in all, it works quite well. And yeah, so we'll take a look also maybe at some of the additions of the dashboard library. For example, we have the tooltip content, and so these files are essentially a set of two components that were added in this latest milestone, which allowed us to do the quick build. So essentially, what we're doing here is we are actually rendering ourselves inside. We're actually rendering our tooltip component inside of an element on screen. So when the tooltip is built, we create our component and our React component and put ourselves inside of that tooltip so that we have full form access. And we use the create portal hack in order to be able to really get ourselves in there and working perfectly fine. Yeah, so see, these are some of the features that we've added in this milestone. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for a great semester.